That's right, ladies and gents, today's video is sponsored by me, Mr. H. I am making my own H.P. Lovecraft horror film. Check out the GoFundMe link down below if you want to support independent and original film, and of course, H.P. Lovecraft and horror films. Breaking Lights is an exploration of depression, suicide, and mental health, and using that and H.P. Lovecraft as an allegory to explore that narrative. So check it out, the link down below. With that being said, on with today's video. Right, welcome to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. This is my review of Two Heads Creek. This is this is a very good movie. I really enjoyed this. It is effectively unabashedly British in its humour, and very much like Australian as well in certain regards. Like, I definitely think it kind of crosses over to that boundaries. It's very, very good. I really enjoyed this. It is a comedy horror for the Halloween season. There you go. Comedy horror for the Halloween season. It's really decent. And this headline, which you can see, sorry, just over here somewhere. Texas Chainsaw Massacre meets Shaun of the Dead. Family reunions can be killer. I think it's actually pretty accurate. It is very Shaun of the Dead-esque in the aspect that it's quite unabashedly British in its sort of humour drive. Really, really enjoyed it. So this will be my review. We'll talk non-spoilers and then kind of touch on some spoilers at the end. But there's not, I mean, look, you kind of know what you're getting yourself in for. I'll tell you the storyline and you'll know exactly what you're getting yourself in for. There's not much in the way of spoilers that can be revealed on a movie like this. So don't worry, like, the thrill of watching this is in the experience. It's not in the storyline. So the storyline is, after the death of their adoptive mother, a shy butcher and his drama queen twin sister, which actually, they did a really good job of pairing these up. I'm fairly certain they are not actually, I mean, they're not brother and sister at all. So they did a really good job of pairing these two up. They do look very similar, like very, very similar. Quite similar. But anyway, so his drama queen twin sister and him, they leave the UK and adventure to Australia in search of their actual mother. Because they had an adoptive mother. That's sort of like a big revelation sort of thing. Again, it's not. Calm down, it happens in the first 5 minutes and not a spoiler. But the local townsfolk of Two Heads Creek, because that's what it's called, are hiding a dark secret, and the pair must reconcile their differences to fight for their lives in this playfully dark comedy horror. Now, I was watching this, and I couldn't help but draw comparisons to the likes of The League of Gentlemen and Inside Number 9. So, like, it's just everything. It is that. I mean, look at this. Just alone. This is very Inside Number 9. Like, it really is. And again, like, very much The League of Gentlemen. It's so just balls to the wall in your face. And I tell you what as well, what I really liked about this is that they don't hide away from any sort of political correctness or any of that nonsense. Like, it's really funny. The way comedy is supposed to be, right? And I say political correctness and that kind of nonsense because it is. In comedies, you don't have to be politically correct. And I think it's important to embrace that. You know, they take a jab at absolutely everyone and everything. And it's very, very funny. It's subtle in moments as well. So, you know, obviously I have a large American audience here on the channel. And is this something which I could recommend to them? Yeah, like 100%. If you've watched any sort of BBC comedy, older BBC comedies, not the new stuff, because that's politically correct out the wazoo and it's crap. If you've watched any of the older stuff, or just any British comedies, like proper British comedians that have done stand-up and things like that, you'll find this very, very funny. And it's really, it is so in your face with it as well, but just so hilariously so. So basically, like, the actors and things like that, who we have, we've got as the sister, Catherine Wilder plays Annabelle. Really, really very good, very funny. She plays like an actress that isn't actually an actress, right? She's a struggling actress that is getting famous because she starred in a laxative commercial. Brilliant. Great. Like, seriously, can you imagine starring in a laxative commercial, seeing your face everywhere about taking a turd somewhere? Seriously, that's brilliant. It's so funny. It works really, really well. You have Jordan Waller, who plays Norman, who is the brother. And like I say, they actually paired them up pretty well. Like, they do look... Obviously, they don't look identical. Like, you're not going to get... Unless you get actual twins, you know. But that's a pretty good... It's a pretty good bet. Like, you're pretty close there. And I will say, even on this shot here above the poster, you can actually see that it's a really well shot film. Like, technically, it's actually really well done. Like, the cinematography aspect of it is very smart. They didn't shy away from actually getting some good technical people behind it. You can see great lens that they've used here in terms of the bokeh in the background, focal length and things like that. And the colour grading's great. Like, the whole tone of this movie, because apparently it's a post-Brexit Britain. It's not... I didn't really get that in the story, by the way. But apparently it's a post-Brexit Britain. And they make it sort of dour a little bit, and it's sort of up north as well, which, if you know anything about the UK, there's sort of like a north and south divide, and people think people up north are a little bit like... It's like a trope, basically. And they play on that a lot, and it's really, really decent. Like, in terms of that aspect and how they compose the shots, and the editing, the colour grading, the cinematography, very, very good. Because more often than not, comedies and movies, they take on the sort of sitcom approach. High frame rates, poor cinematography. They don't focus on bokeh, for instance. Like, a sitcom will have like maybe a 28mm lens where everything is in focus, right? That's why sitcoms look very crisp and they'll run at like 60 frames a second. Whereas this obviously clearly didn't do that. And a lot of comedies do that as well. So it's really nice that they didn't shy away from actually hiring good people. Now, it is directed by someone that I'd never heard of before, Jesse O'Brien, written by Jordan Waller. Now, Jesse O'Brien has done a few things, but nothing big. Arrowhead has been what he's done. Like, that's it. He's an Australian director. So, like I say, like, although it feels very British and Australian humour ties in quite nicely with one another. So it worked out really, really well. And interestingly enough, right, the lead in this, one of the leads anyway, Jordan Waller, is actually the writer. So he was actually writing and acting in what he had put together, which is fantastic. It's really, really decent. And as well, because there'll be a lot of people that maybe watch this and they'll go, oh, well, they rip on Australians. Yeah, they do, but it's an Australian director that does it. So I think that's allowed. And this says everything. This is everything you need to know about this movie. Like, this is everything you need to know about this movie. A big, massive, larger-than-life Australian personality singing into a severed peen. Like, that's it. It's brilliant. Oh, it's so good. I had a great time with this. I don't normally, I haven't done like a lead up to sort of Halloween and horror and things like that, but I have got a bunch of horror movies I am going to be reviewing. These were sent over to me as sort of screeners, so I'm going to be going through a whole bunch of these sort of low budget indie movies. But this is great. Like, it's well worth your time. Seriously, well worth your time. In a world where you just look around and it's all garbage at the moment, because, I'm reviewing this in the year 2020. It's just garbage. Enjoy this. You'll have a great time with it. I loved it. It's very, very funny. So, spoilers. Here's your spoiler warning, I guess you could say. They find there's some like weird twists and turns, like the character played by Jordan Waller, the lead, discovers that he'd fancied his half sister and things like that. It's just, it's so funny. Well, the guy walks out. Oh my god. There's a dude. I think he's in one of these photos. Let me have a look. There's no, he's not. Okay, so there's a guy that's like a Father Ted-esque like character, right? And he's like, "Oh, you pommy bastards!" And he comes out with a fork and starts stabbing him in the leg. And it's brilliant. It really is. It's my kind of humour. I enjoyed this very much. It's not sophisticated in any way, shape, or form, but it's not supposed to be. It's not supposed to be. It's great. It's really, really good fun. You must watch this. Highly recommend. Good laugh. Anyway, if you have seen it, please let me know your thoughts down below. If you're new here, do hit subscribe. From me and El Jasper, I've been Mr. H. Take care.